So, looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be cool. It'll be rainy. It'll be fun.
Do you think they'll cancel if it gets thundery?
And cancel the past 3 days.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a safety risk, I'm sure they'll change, but I think for the most part, it'll just be dreary.
That's at Princess Island Park.
Princess Island Park, yeah. I'm not sure we're going to get great view of the stage.
To see cake.
Mm-hmm. Relive our youth.
Have you seen cake before?
I've never seen cake before.
Hmm.
I've eaten a lot of cake. Hey-oh.
What's your favorite kind of cake?
I'm good with just a nicely done vanilla with some icing on it. It's the same as ice cream.
Yeah.
The older I get, the less I need the extra bits. So it gets in the way. Although
Cookie
Cookie
Monster.
Monster's pretty good, man. That's
Yeah,
a good one.
that
I
was
gotta
a
give
good one.
props to Foothills Bakery or Creamery about that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say cheesecake
Oh, my no.
is my favorite, but it has to be good. Like I'm very, very picky.
Oh,
There's a
really?
lot of cheesecake I don't like. Hey, now,
Particular. I wouldn't say picky. You're particular.
but what?
Well, it depends on the situation. And frankly, you don't know until the situation hits most of the time either.
That's true.
And then you're particular. And they're like, nope, this is not it. It's like, oh, okay, well, tell me for next time what you'd like. I don't know,
But it's not
but
that.
it's not that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That is true.
Yeah, that's kind of how you float through life
I'm open to everything and anything until I'm
until it
not.
occurs. And then you're like, oh, this is not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always my favorite. Oh, that's not how I imagined this at all. Oh, okay, cool.
I had a good Black Forest cake.
Hmm.
I might have talked about it already on the podcast, maybe. It's very good.
Where was it from?
The Baines Lake Farmers
That's
Market.
correct. What was the most disappointing Black Forest cake that you ever had?
I know, in Black Forest in Germany. We
Correct.
drove hours, like probably a whole day out of our trip to go to the Black Forest
Yes.
in Germany.
Yes.
And it was terrible.
Town was amazing.
Yep.
Area was amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, but that, dear listener, was exactly one of those. Nope, that's not it. That was exactly that. And that was miles, hundreds of miles to get that response.
We bought a bunch of things from that bakery. We probably should have gone to more than one bakery, but it was supposed to be the best
Yeah,
one.
it was like the best review. It was fine, but it wasn't.
It was just very alcohol-y. I don't need all that much alcohol in my cake
Yeah, I know.
or any at all.
Listen, I'm bush league enough that a decent Costco vanilla cake, and I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
I do make a good chocolate one,
Mm-hmm.
but it becomes too much. It's so much. But
Yes.
so I thought I'd have a fun topic for today. I came across, it's an old article. It's from 2010, but I started digging up, just seeing what people's perspectives are. There's no research on this, but it's really interesting just to talk about if psychologists' kids or therapists, psychiatrists, whoever's kids are more screwed up.
Yep.
Why?
No, I'm agreeing with you. That wasn't an endorsement of our children's state or comment on it.
Yeah, more screwed up than non-therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists.
Interesting.
And I was just actually right before we started, I was just on Reddit and like different places, and everybody's like, yes, why are why are therapists so messed up themselves? And like, are their kids more messed up? And everyone's like, yes, everyone I've personally met whose parent is they're all messed up. So
Yeah, to me, that's a very, but I mean, I don't think it's just therapists or psychologists or whatever. Like most of the friends I had growing up whose parents were teachers were the worst students, right? And didn't want to be part, like there's always a bit about that. Now, that said, you and I have talked in the past about the fact that um, I have found members of your professional community to be very much seeking the thing that they are trying to provide to other people a lot of times, is probably the nicest way I can say it. So I wouldn't be surprised that there's a bit of a disconnect generationally, for sure.
But that's the therapists themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's potentially a cause to, like
Okay.
you made the one comment about people meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was all that was.
I will say from my own personal experience, yeah, I guess it just depends. I mean, I do know a lot of psychologists who have great kids
Yeah,
and
yeah.
very well
Yeah, yeah.
invested kids. I happen to see a lot of psychologists' kids. They
Yeah.
bring their kids to me. So now we're already talking about a different sort of population. I will say psychologists or therapists, parents sometimes are the best clients, but sometimes are the worst.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
50-50. So it's true of
Any
anybody,
profession.
right?
Doctors make the worst patients,
But
right? Yeah.
I find it most challenging when they bring their expertise in and now all of a sudden think they're expert. I'm like, cool. You can take your kids home then. You
Yeah.
don't need me,
Yeah.
because then, but again, I also have non-therapist parents who are like that, right? Really? That doesn't feel comfortable for me. They don't want to go to school, so I don't want to hurt their feelings. So really, I should make them go to school still?
I
Like
think
I'm
I
gonna
think any subset of the population, if you peel it back, will have there's always going to be aversions to the things that they themselves are. Meaning one of two things. They're not, and whether this is exactly it, but nobody wants to be found out as being less good at something that they've dedicated their life to, or in some cases they feel threatened, right? Like I'm sure you see a lot. And again, I'm not saying everybody. This is not a it's a section of the population we're referring to. But yeah, I'm sure a ton of the people that are coming in there feel a little not a failure, but they feel like they are at fault if they have to bring their kid for the thing that they give to others as well, right? Because then it's a matter of you're inventing what you think others are going to judge you by, so you're pushing back against that. So I'm sure that's 90 times, not 90 times, but I'm sure that's partially what you've seen in the past with certain. And then others, just people are jerks, and they're going to be jerks no matter what their profession is, right?
some feel like are more guilty because they're like, I should know this. And
Totally.
I know I'm supposed to validate and I know I'm supposed to do
Yeah,
this. And then they,
but I mean, that's an important distinction as well because that's it's not about the person themselves being a failure. It's about putting themselves in a position to get an objective opinion to help either remind them or guide them,
right.
right? And if they can see that, then they'll move forward. But yeah, anytime you're potentially being graded on your ability as a parent, no matter what, you're probably not going to like the feeling.
Yeah. So the points in this article are it's definitely a major stereotype that people
Yeah.
think that our kids are messed up. Therapists bringing their work home. Yes, definitely. I have done this. So I won the Psychologist of the Year award in 2024. And in my acceptance speech, I was talking about like the joys of being a psychologist and how I could like run experiments on my kids. And this,
Oh yeah.
everyone went silent,
Yeah.
like, right? What does she mean? But it was fun little things, right? So I maybe regret saying that, but it was like putting a little red dot on their nose when they were babies to tell if we should do actually a fun episode on this, all the
Yeah.
things that we could do with our kids, just to see if they can tell themselves apart, or do they think that if reflection in the mirror is another baby. So if they touch their own nose, they know it's themselves. If they touch the mirror, then they don't know it's themselves, right? So I would do stuff like that.
Well, in that time that you locked them in the basement for 3 weeks, right? Like that was a big experiment too.
Never happened. Piaget, though, did. Like he did do stuff like that. He's like a major psychologist, like early. Yeah, he did early work, but he would lock his kids in boxes and stuff. Or like object permanence, so hiding something under a
Yeah,
cloth. Would they know that it's still there after it's gone? Like that kind of stuff. Yeah, I definitely do. So yeah, I bring my work home.
for sure.
And I do. I will use my validation skills. It's funny because
The kids are a big
the
fan.
girls just assume everything I say and do is psychology. Don't psychologize. I'm like, I'm just being a mom. I'm not doing psychology on you. So that's, I think, tricky because they just like don't use your psychology.
Well, and they're old enough now though that they love to do that back to you.
Yeah.
That if they see an opportunity where they can force you to validate or on a scale. They love that stuff because
Yeah.
it's been such a back and forth for years,
Oh,
right?
yeah. They just say, don't just say on a scale of 1 to 10. Or they've been to so many, especially Willow has been to so many of my presentations. She's like, that's not what you tell parents to say. You're not responding to me.
Yeah, she like that. That's true.
You're not being a good mom. Another point, are therapist parents fundamentally different? Not really, right? Like when we compare it to others, they're not that different. Some are over involved and overly
Oh,
controlling.
yeah,
Others are way more freeform or whatever. The biggest difference is just the language that they use. So how we care for our kids isn't that different, and I would agree with that
yeah. You
too.
use big words.
Yeah, it's just the
You throw them
language
at us all the time.
and using emotions in the validation stuff, really. I think that that might be the only thing. And I think with modern parenting, because we do focus so much on kids' feelings and validation, like I think it's narrowed quite a bit in
Yeah, yeah.
how we I think
Yeah,
we'll
I don't think it's that much different than how most people that get their instruction from Facebook are trying to be.
yeah. Um Modern the only other thing with modern parenting too is we wouldn't call kids bad, for example, but parents might be like therapist parents might be more used to using diagnostic labels more frequently than non-parent, like,
Yeah.
oh, they've got attachment issues or they've got trauma or PTSD or, like that kind of stuff. Um, Defined roles. So relying on structured rules or philosophies to guide parenting. Um, but
That's a
really,
thing.
yeah, yeah. But I think we've talked about this. Everybody kind of does, right? So attachment-based parenting, gentle parenting, like
Oh,
all of these
that's right.
different labels. It really doesn't matter though what rule, and I think parents do. Oh yeah, I used sleep training for my baby. No, I didn't use sleep training. Like I think there's just so much more known about in the psychology world that mainstream parents are using those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what structure you're using, as long as it's not being neglectful, abusive,
Yeah.
like those kinds of things, it really doesn't matter. Um, Over involved helicopter parenting. Again, it does happen with therapists, but it also happens in the
Yeah.
real world. So, I mean, at the end of the day, no, parenting isn't that much different from a therapist's point
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
view. Their kids aren't any more or less screwed up. I mean, they're just as screwed up or not screwed up as sort of mainstream thing.
Yeah.
Um, Blaming, right? Blaming was another thing, blame in the parent-child relationship. Um, take a lot of parents do um, feel like they're being blamed, and that's true for psychologists as well, right? But we can't always blame parents. I think that's things. But there are some reflections and mistakes that therapists make. So, yeah, using psychology frameworks too soon, too early,
Mhm.
or pathologizing
I
kids.
could see that. Yeah.
Blurring professional and personal roles, right? Where maybe they are trying to do therapy with their kids. This stuff I don't think would be necessarily. Should I even go into
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. 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 Go through it.
Okay. Being over responsive to distress sometimes, right? Trying to solve problems and use all these strategies
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
And I think, again, I think a lot of parents do this too now. I mean, this article was from 15 years ago, and I do see that over parenting now. The more that people read attachment and gentle parenting, like we're just trying to jump in with all these strategies
Yeah. Well,
too
you don't need to.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids just need to be able
And
to
we've
develop
talked about that
food.
before, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the rest of the traps I've already talked about, like over pathologizing their kids, right? Labeling them as anxious or dysregulated when it's just like, they're a little bit grumpy right now.
Yeah. They didn't get enough sleep.
Like,
Like our child this morning, right? When we woke her up.
yeah. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing. I know Well, I've talked to the girls. I've asked them, like, I think we might have talked about this already. Like, looking back, do you think we've messed you up?
It
But
was it was a quick resounding yes.
very quick from Willow. Maya doesn't think so.
Oh no, Maya for sure thinks so.
Why? What does Maya
The
think?
one that they always go to is the joke about the immunization shots.
Oh, yeah.
That that messed them up, apparently. But hey, just safety first.
I will agree. Yeah, Maya would probably say, I used to pull pranks all the time. It has nothing to do with psychology. That's my ADHD. Like, this is going to be hilarious to scare my kids.
Yeah. And you still like doing that.
I still do.
Yeah. What was it you were trying to get me to do last summer? Oh, remotely change the lights while they were watching a scary movie at the cabin.
Oh, yeah.
I was in Calgary and you wanted me to do it because then they would never have thought of it
Yeah.
and change it to blood red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then completely turn off.
And then shut
And you
everything
did.
off. I'm an enabler for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
don't.
there was a lot of screams. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So we do stuff like that a fair amount.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of times it's cabin based though, because the woods is scary.
Well, and I would just do like our April 1st. Like I remember once they're saying to Maya, she was itty bitty, that there was a dead bird under a pool. Or it wasn't dead, it was still alive, but we had to catch it. But it had a broken wing. And so she had to catch it. And like I had read it somewhere and other people had put like dog poo or something. I didn't do that. I put tuna. So you got to grab it fast, right? And she started to, and she did get her fingers in the tuna, but she was so upset and already just stressed out that there was this bird that she had to grab from under the bowl. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But she says now, like, no, she doesn't think legit that she's messed up. Oh, teeth. She is very, she hates the dentist
Yeah.
and she does get nervous going to the dentist, even still as an adult now. And it's because one day I joked that the dentist would be taking out a tooth, pulling out one of her teeth, and she had a panic attack. So, yeah, but that has nothing to do with psychology. That was just probably
Bad parenting.
bad parenting.
I mean, I did convince her at one point that she spoke to an astral projection of me in the basement and had her going for a few
And that
hours.
was just like last year.
Yeah, it was recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Wasn't even intentional. It just kind of happened. And then when I realized she wasn't quite sure, I doubled down. I'm more impressed that I pulled it off than I feel bad about making her think that I was a ghost.
Well, now she's been trying to do it with Willow.
Yeah, Willow's not biting though.
No, Willow does not. No. Yeah, Willow says just the sarcasm. Her immediate yes was the sarcasm. And that comes from you, sir, not me, because I'm not sarcastic.
No, and it's interesting because I knew early that I didn't want her to be like I tried very much not to demonstrate that and tried to teach her as early as possible when it's okay and when it's not. And because I had to learn that lesson the hard way myself, right? Like I'm sarcastic now, but I'm very specific about when I am because there was a lot of times that I would say something that same thing people wouldn't appreciate or whatever. Um, I don't use this term frequently, nor do I really like the term, but I feel it's appropriate. I think her struggles with it, less so about me teaching it to her, is the snowflakes she hangs out with. There is a large amount of miscommunication and hurt feelings over stuff that does not matter that I think is part of the problem as well, because she was going to be sarcastic no matter what
No, yeah.
happened, right? And
I was just joking.
no, but but it's valid. I am out of the two, like I absolutely own that. Like absolutely out of the two of us, I absolutely am because I had to go through it myself. But yeah, I think the audience is probably a bit bigger of the issue than the kid.
Well, that's just it. Like, I would not take back her sarcasm. She is so witty and it's not even sarcasm. It's just the wittiness.
She's fast.
She is so fast. Other kids come to her for comebacks. Like, this kid said something to me. What can I say? And she's like, I need context. Like,
Yeah.
I need to be in the moment. It's hard for me just to come up with stuff. But she is so, and so I don't, because it's a good protective factor. She don't get bullied.
Mhm.
I mean, people try and to be mean. They're just at that age where they're mean and they'll put comments out. But she is so quick and she can defend herself. She's assertive. And she just, when I had asked her that, was really it was in the middle of friendship fires.
Yeah.
That haven't really gone out, but it's because she would say something offhanded, jokingly. But you're right. People took it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And and she did a survey. She surveyed with other people, and they're like, no, like that was totally fine comparative to what they say to her,
Yeah.
right? And it was a sort of a comeback to
Yeah.
something that somebody had said to her. But
But the problem is she's there, from what I can piece together, and I don't know about this most recent one, but from what I've seen in the past, it is this very immature, let's call it whatever, approach where, yeah, they'll say something specific as a unit, like two people will have a problem and they'll say, we don't, whatever, we don't like how you acted in this way. And her immediate response is to defend herself with specifics about that person, right? And that's what gets them because they can't do that, right? And this sounds really awful, but she's never going to get away from that. She is going to struggle for the rest of her life with people who cannot regulate their own way through life and will expect people like her to do it for them. And that's just not going to happen. And so
well, because it's even with adults too.
that's what I mean. Like these
Yeah.
people that she's struggling with now, she's going to struggle with the same type of people as adults.
But I'm saying even adults right now can't handle her wittiness.
Yeah, we've had parents that have commented, and that's the other thing too. Like if you're a 40-year-old person and a 10-year-old makes you feel bad about yourself, take a step back and think about your life
Yeah.
because it's a 10-year-old, right? But yeah, and again, but that's the same thing. This child has made me feel bad. They need to stop doing that. No, you just need to figure out.
It's not making them feel bad, but just saying something. Like one day well, I just remember at the rink, I wasn't there. She said something sarcastic in response to you, like as a joke.
Yeah.
And another parent was looking at her like she was a spoiled little brat.
Hmm.
And it wasn't, right?
No, it's just our
It's just
relationship.
taken out of the context. And one day she was in her friend's car
Yeah.
talking with grandma, joking around with grandma. And she's like, you better do this or whatever she does. That's the kind of relationship she's got, that
Yeah.
back and forth banter. But when she hung up, the other parent was like, I cannot believe you talked to your grandmother that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you didn't hear the other side. Like they have that banter, they have that relationship. And so
100%.
other people, even so it's not, I don't think she offends people. Maybe her friends will take things the wrong way, but it's just, yeah, like that. I can't believe you're talking like that. Or if she does defend herself with teachers, because she has gotten in trouble with teachers, but it's usually in defense
Yeah.
of herself.
Or
Like
others.
they have crossed the line.
She's gotten in trouble for defending her friends too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But
But yeah, like back to the original point, it's not because of your profession or that, you know what I mean? Like that's just the kids we raised, right?
do you think I use psychology in
Nothing underhand. Like it's the stuff we've talked about, right? Okay, come here. We're gonna do this and this and this. Or okay, let's write a list of all the good stuff in the back. They hate the lists. They are so over the list, but that's a tool, right?
pros and cons?
Yeah, pros and cons, which is a tool that anybody else would do if they thought of it, but they chalk it up to you being a psychologist, right? And they tease you more about, hugging trees or like going to that extreme.
Yeah.
Like they chalk that up. But again, that they would be surprised to know that's your personality, not your profession, right? So, yeah, I don't think you use it. I think there's aspects of it that you bring forward that are tools based. That's all.
The only thing that I come up, I'm like, I am an expert in that, like studying, for example. I am an expert in study strategies. I can help you. I never push it down their throats, though. I'm always saying, you come, let me know. But I don't think they'll ever because I'm
They
also
won't.
mom.
And here's a perfect example of that. So, do you know the band Linkin Park?
Yeah.
Okay, Linkin Park was founded by not founded, but two primary guys, Mike Shinoda and Chester Benningfield. Chester's passed on, but Mike Shinoda told a story where his daughter, about the same age as our kids, was trying to teach herself guitar. Okay, Linkin Park is massive, hundreds of millions of fans around the world. Right? They've sold countless amount of albums. They've toured the world. Mike, she was learning how to do it. Mike came across her practicing one day and said, "Hey, I can help you learn that if you want. Like it's cool that you're learning. Do you want to learn?" No, Dad. Why? No. Like, and was just like almost offended. Like, how would you know? So like he went back and was talking to his wife. He's like, "Yeah, I offered to help," and she kind of told me to, get out of there. So his wife went in and said, "You might want to take Dad up on that." And the kid actually said, "What would Dad know about playing music?" And she's like, "Do you know what your dad does?" And she's like, "No." So she literally had to go to YouTube and pulled up a concert footage of Linkin Park playing and like zoomed in on her dad. And the kid was like, "Who is that?" She's like, "That's your dad on stage with his band in front of thousands of people." And the kids still didn't want him to teach her. So it doesn't matter what you do as a parent, they're never going to care,
So,
right? You're just their mom.
yeah, well, they have counter will. They want to push back. And have I talked about Romeo and Juliet? I
No.
can't remember if I've talked about it. Like Romeo and Juliet never would have been a thing. They probably didn't even like each other.
Oh.
Probably never would have hooked up if their parents didn't care. But
Yeah.
because their parents cared, now all of a sudden
It's all consuming.
all consuming.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
Yeah.
and that's it. That's true for everyone. So if maybe that's the problem, if they are messed up, it's because they weren't actually getting.
I think what you see kids like, and the kids not rejecting what their parents do, but not being averse to it is, and we've talked about this in the past as well, in terms of like getting them involved in what you do know as a means of learning it. Like if you're a mechanic and you're working on cars in your spare time, they're going to naturally gravitate to that to learn, right? Professions like yours don't all have that ability. You bring, no, actually, that's not true because you've brought them along to a lot of your public stuff. So they get to see that component of it. So I think they get that, right? So I think that'd be the one thing, right? Like it doesn't matter what profession you're in. If there's a component of it you'd like them to be exposed to or learn, just do it and make it accessible to them and they'll pick it up if they want.
And that's the key piece. It doesn't matter what our role, but whatever lesson, we've talked about this, whatever lesson, it's about doing it alongside them. So the mechanic, it's not them working on their car, you over their shoulder telling them what to do. That's not it.
Yeah.
Or dad over the girl's shoulder telling her what to do for guitar. It's just I'm playing my guitar or I'm working on my car in the garage. They come along, hey, pass me that wrench, or hey, pass me, right? And they come, right, of their own sort of free will. For me, it's the seeds it's conversations that I have maybe with you, but they're in earshot, right? Or it's podcasts that I listen to in the car, or I bring them to talks. That's how I don't teach them how bad screen time is for your brain or how bad drugs it's not. It's just through those seeds and indirect sort of ways that I teach them lessons.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So, because the minute you hit it on head on.
Yeah, well, then and back to the original point. It's the similar reaction you see in parents that are therapists themselves coming to you and that initial defensive stance. Kids will do the same when you push it on them. They'll just, not for the same reasons, but the same response, right? So you just got to make it more accessible. And if they choose to, they'll choose to. Like Maya, I've tried to teach her before about how to build stuff. And sometimes she's interested, sometimes she's not. Over the years, she's become very interested to the point where I found a project for her that I'm going to let her do on her own. Right. And I'll be there, but I don't need to do it. I got other stuff to do, right? But she's excited to get going on it. So cool. Let's hear. Tell me what you need. And that's great. But had I done that years ago, it would have been too hard and the drill was too much and she couldn't do it. Like now she doesn't even think of it, right?
Or even the front room. She took that project on, the re-lifting of our front room, all on her own, like without anyone.
100%.
All righty. Thank you.
Good day.